It's the last day of the month, but we're giving you the first day of the second round.
It's time for teams to raise their games to the next level.
So join us as we find out what's in store in the second round of competition. I'm Mariel Benitez.
I am Paolo Buendia.
I'm Mia Cabalfin, and this is the United Football League. It's our game. Their first round meeting ended up in a 6-0 thrashing. Now will the newly reinforced Loyola Meralco Sparks light it up this time, or will Global Smartmatic pull the plug once again on their foes? Their first round meeting ended up in a 6-0 shellacking, and now Global Smartmatic FC and Loyola Meralco Sparks were ready to square off for the second time. Former Azcal Kim Relucio still out with an injury, and striker Misa Bahadoran serving as a substitute, Global Smartmatic inserted 4 new players in the starting 11. Eager to finally earn a win after 2 straight draws, Global tweaked its formation and changed it from 4-4-2 to 4-3-3, with foreign reinforcements Omar Ali, Ogeyefor Kusmas, and Izeldin El Habib forming an attacking triumvirate up front. Meanwhile, Loyola Meralco Sparks were the busiest team during the transfer period, and their starting 11 had new additions: Jason Kutamora, Taku Yoshioka, and Mark Hartman. Coach Carlo Rodriguez, who was celebrating his birthday on match day, still employed the same 4-5-1 formation used the last outing, but adjusted it a bit with Mark Hartman becoming the lone striker, while Alex Elnar moved back to the midfield. The reloaded Loyola lineup instantly made its presence felt as Japanese recruit Tako Yoshioka fired the opening salvo just in the 3rd minute to make it 1-0 for his squad. Usually taking the upper hand first rather than trailing, Global sought to instantly equalize with several opportunities from leading goal scorer Izo El Habib, but the prolific offensive player was foiled each time around. Coming in as a substitute, Global's Misa Bahadoran tried to make a sudden impact with his own opportunities, but just like his teammate El Habib, the Filipino-Iranian couldn't convert. With Global failing to tie the count and Loyola hanging on, the first half ended at 1-0 for Loyola. Always most dangerous during the restart, Global capitalized on a confused Loyola side as a no call momentarily distracted the defenders, and Misa Bahadoran kicked a looping shot from the right flank that caught the keeper off guard and knotted the score up just 2 minutes into the second half. Loyola nearly regained the advantage in the 55th minute, but Power Valeroso was denied by Global keeper Kenneth Dolioso. Another chance came for Loyola, but Rafi Narvaez's long free kick just barely missed its target and the score stayed level. With precious minutes taking away, Global had a couple of more chances to steal the victory, but Dan Palami's boys just couldn't find the finishing touch as they came up with their 3rd straight draw. For scoring his team's lone goal and playing solid defense against the high-powered Global offense, Japanese reinforcement Taku Yoshioka of Loyola Meralco Sparks is our pick for man of the match.
It was very difficult to work as a team, but it's okay. It's getting better every day, day by day.
First of all, we had to do some replacements. If you've noticed, we have a few guys who just came in our add and drop window, and they played some crucial positions.
Now let's scrutinize each squad strategy and find out how effective or ineffective they turned out.
As the second round of competition kicked off with some teams beefing up their rosters after the transfer window, the Loyola Meralco Sparks and Global Smartmatic match definitely exemplified the unpredictability in football, making it the beautiful game. Coming from a 6-0 thrashing in the first round, Loyola proved to be a different team as they played Global Smartmatic to a 1-1 draw, even scoring ahead from a free kick in the first 3 minutes of the match from one of their new recruits, Japanese Tako Yoshioka. Also new in the roster are Filipino-British brothers Darren and Mark Hartman, who added firepower up front. With both teams relying on their defensive strengths, the match was played out on the middle third. Loyola and Global had very good possession and build-up, but could not finish their scoring opportunities. For Loyola, it was a second-half combination of Darren Hartman, Pedro, and Yoshioka that held the midfield and created opportunities for their attack. Global, on the other hand, banked on the strength of Izo El Habib as well as the quickness of Aaron Altiche and Misa Bahadoran. With both sides playing very organized and compact defense, it only took one defensive lapse from Loyola for Global's Bahadoran to equalize the match with an easy shot over the goalkeeper. Most thought that there was an infraction, but there was no call, and Bahadoran was able to convert on that advantage. Indeed, it was a difficult match played under the sizzling summer sun that tested the fitness of both teams. As the league progresses in the second round, Loyola hopes to continue their good performances despite the summer heat and catch up on the league standings, while Global hopes to get out of their consecutive draws and regain the top spot.
Coming up next, we'll introduce you to the captain of the Green Machine. In football rules, a throw-in is a method of restarting play. A throw-in is awarded to the opponents of the player who last touches the ball when the whole of the ball crosses the touchline either on the ground or in the air. At the moment of delivering the ball, the thrower must follow this procedure. All opponents must stand no less than 2 meters or 2 yards from the point at which the throw-in is taken. The ball is in play once it enters the field of play.
Always had the animal spirit and represented the green and white. Now let's learn more about the skipper of the Green Archers Orient Freight in our player profile.
My name is Pat Bocobo and I'm the team captain of the Green Archers United. I started playing football when I was in grade 2. So as I recall, I was just waiting for the bus going home and I saw my brother playing football and I was like talking to my busmates and then I told them why don't we try to play soccer, which we did at grade 2, and from there I've been playing football. Excites me scoring goals because as a striker, I guess that's my role in the team, to score goals. So whenever I score a goal, really I get excited. For me, it's not hard to play football because I really love the sport. So for me, it's not a hard thing. I always enjoy playing football. So even though we lose or even though I play bad, I'm always happy whenever I play. Probably winning awards. When I'd win individual awards or probably championship medals for the team, and probably when I got Athlete of the Year award when I was in high school when I graduated. One, I love running. I do marathons. Two is I'm also into wedding videography. So that's my passion right now. We just started the company. And 3 is I love house music and gospel music. I take salt. I take salt to pieces of banana. To all the football fans out there and to the Green Archers fans, I'd like to encourage you to keep on supporting UFL. It's our game, and of course, our team, Green Archers United.
When we return, let's find out if the defending league champion manages to remain at the top of the heap on the start of the second round.
In football, the corner kick is a method of restarting play. A corner kick is awarded when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, either on the ground or in the air, having last touched a player of the defending team, and a goal is not scored. A goal may be scored directly from a corner kick. The ball must be placed inside the corner arc nearest to the point where the ball crossed the goal line. The corner flag post must not be moved at all times. The opponents must remain at least 9.15 meters or 10 yards from the corner arc until the ball is in play. The ball must be kicked by a player of the attacking team. The ball is in play when it is kicked. The kicker must not play the ball again until another player has possession or has kicked it.
Good to have you back. With fuel prices and toll rates rising, the UFL matches are a heaven sent since we can watch them live for free here in UMAC. Anyway, these two squads engaged in a highly physical battle in the last round, committing nearly 20 fouls between them. Let's see if the fire is still burning as they clash one last time in this campaign.
Green Archers Orion Freight opened its second-round campaign against league-leading Air Force Rider at the University of Makati. Green Archers trotted out its 4-4-2 formation with Captain Patrick Bocobo leading the attack. Meanwhile, Air Force also utilized its usual 4-4-2 formation featuring the usual suspects. Air Force Riders top gun Ian Araneta threatened the Green Archers defense merely 20 seconds after the opening whistle. Air Force's rising star Sergeant Montellano finds Yanti Barsalas in the 10th minute, but the captain is stopped in point-blank range by Archers keeper Martin Villaflor. It didn't take long for Chiefy Caligdong to get in on the action. After receiving a pass from midfielder Randy Belaong, Caligdong scores the first goal of the match in the 15th minute. The rampaging Kicks Romero Salas lived up to his name to score the equalizer in the 20th minute. Jose Ramon Garcia's boys could have jumped in front 2 minutes later when Air Force keeper Ed Mercado found himself out of position, but Archers midfielder Ting Pasilan fails to take advantage. The tag team of Araneta and Caligdong brought about Air Force's second goal of the match. Though Villaflor gets a hand on Chiefy's cross, the ball falls right in front of Ian, who chips in the 2-1 lead in the 25th minute. Air Force's third goal came a minute later. Belaong breaks up an Archer's play, and Araneta was at the right place at the right time. Villaflor saves Ian's first attempt, but not the second. 3-1 Air Force 26 minutes into the first half. The start of the second half was a mirror image of the first, when Air Force almost scores just 25 seconds after the break. Air Force right back Herbert Bayona threads through the Green Archers midfield and finds Araneta, who in turn passes to his cousin Caligdong. Villaflor stops Chiefy's attempt at the 54th minute. It was turning into a long day in the office for Archers keeper Villaflor when Caligdong was a one-man attack force as he went one-on-one against Villaflor in the 71st minute. Despite being down 2 goals, the boys in green continued to press on and Pasilan refused to back down as he battles Air Force's Harold Bayona but is ultimately stopped by Mercado. Chiefy pulls off his trademark lob over Archer Arvin Soliman, pulling in the Green Archers defense and leaving an unmarked Yankee Barsales to coolly tap the ball in for the 4-1 lead in the 75th minute. It marks Barsales' 5th goal in 4 games. 4 minutes from time, Air Force midfielder Mark Ferrer sneaks a pass through 2 Archers to substitute Aubrey Amatorio, who beats Villaflor to seal the match 5-1. Air Force now hovers atop the league standings with 17 points, 2 clear off second placer Global Smartmatic.
Maganda yung game namin kasi ito yung mga chances namin na sa mga possible games na susunod namin kasi alam ko yung teams na nakahanda na naman yung like Kaya, Global and Army, Navy. Siyempre yung mga ganitong level kailangan yung game kailangan namin manalo kasi yung advantage, yung experience. Siyempre mga bata yung kalaban. Yun yung mga ginamit namin na yung mga chances na yun na yung mga error ng mga defenses na mga lapses. So yung mga nag-create ng mga chances So yun like yung first goal, yung backline nila hindi organized masyado at saka mabagal. Tapos yung right back nila na dalawa hindi nag-uusap ng sweeper ng last man. So yun yung mga error ng mga depensa nila. Mukhang doon yung makakreate ka ng space, yung space na tatakbuhan ko nandun palagi.
No need to get paralysis by analysis. Let's simplify things and break the match down without any complications. Defending league champions Air Force Rider starts the second round of their campaign with a resounding victory over Green Archers Orient Freight. Even though both teams started the match with their own share of possession, the Green Archers were not able to carry over their passing into any meaningful attempts on goal. Air Force, on the other hand, was threatening from the opening whistle as Askal Chiefy Caligdong, our man of the match, proved to be a constant nuisance on the left side of the field. Air Force figured out the holes of the Archers' defense on his side, and Chiefy took advantage, notching a goal and helping fellow Askal Ian Araneta into scoring one as well. Defensive lapses was the theme for the LaSalle back 4 as they gave away the ball often and in dangerous places. Though the Archers were able to pull one back before the break and show glimpses of what they are capable of, Air Force led 3-1 at halftime. The game settles in the second half, with both teams being more patient on the ball and using their passing game more effectively. Christian Pasilan leads the Archers' attack as he single-handedly creates chances and attempts all on his own. But all these were stopped by the Air Force defense. Though they showed great character as they continued to attack, the lapses in the Archers' defense ended up leaking 2 more goals with Chiefy as the architect behind them. The gulf in class was apparent in the end, and the defending champions take the top spot of the league standings with a 5-1 victory. Let's check out next week's matches after these reminders.
you're still watching the United Football League, it's our game. Now let's check to see if there are any changes in rankings after the start of the second round.
It's usually not a bad idea to get a head start. So let's look ahead at the upcoming matches and see what we can expect from the squad seeing action.
The first match on Labor Day Sunday will pit two teams with contrasting results during their opening assignments in the second round. Green Archers Orient Freight was overpowered by defending league champion Air Force Rider 5-1, while Army Fritz and Maxiol IBM blanked Navy FC 2-0. The first meeting between these two clubs surprisingly ended in a 1-all draw. A win by Army in this match will move them into a tie with Idol Global Smartmatic for second place. Meanwhile, wresting control of the top spot after its convincing win over Green Archers Orient Freight, defending league champion Air Force Rider is expected to go all out and create more separation between themselves and the rest of the UFL. Navy, though, enters the match with a confidence that they drew Air Force 1-1 during their first encounter last February. The final match on Sunday has Loyola Meralco Sparks tangling with struggling Kaya Smart FC. Loyola has gotten stronger with the addition of the Hartman brothers at the start of the second round, while Kaya will likely have the services of Azcal's captain Ali Borromeo and defender Anton Del Rosario back to give them a much-needed boost. Kaya had all but wrapped up the win during their first meeting, but a late goal by Loyola's Alex Elnar spoiled everything as the match ended in a 2-2 draw during their first meeting last March 27th. In a few hours, we'll say goodbye to April and hello to May.
If you're not doing anything on Sundays, come on over to the University of Makati and watch the UFL matches live for free.
Or you can follow the UFL through Twitter at UFL Philippines or visit footballalliance.ph or like the LBC United Football League page on Facebook. I'm Mariel Benitez.
I'm Paulo Buendia.
And I'm Mia Cabofin, and this has been the United Football League, it's our game.